Welcome to Shadowproof. Evidence first, noise last.
In the vast universe, the Earth we live on is just like a speck of dust. Many people, including myself, believe that humans cannot be the only fortunate ones in this vast universe. In the universe, there must certainly be other high-level civilizations in different forms. In 1961, during a lecture, American astronomer Frank Drake proposed 7 essential factors for the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations, and simultaneously organized them into this formula is called the Drake equation, used to estimate the probability of the existence of extraterrestrial civilizations we can contact. On September 17, 2019, it was the first time the US Navy acknowledged the authenticity of 3 UFO videos. This was also the first time the government acknowledged the existence of unidentified flying objects, exciting UFO. Besides, some people still can't help but ask, if extraterrestrial civilizations truly exist, then where are they? In the US, there is a man named Stan Romanek. He claims to have been abducted by aliens 11 times, and that the aliens implanted extremely mysterious formulas into him, and even used alien technology to heal his leg injury. And most importantly, Romanek even managed to record a video of the appearance of aliens. The extraordinary story of Romanek. Stan Romanek was born on December 1, 1962, into an American military family. When he was 5 years old, Romanek had a dream. In the dream, a strange woman with blue eyes communicated telepathically with Romanek, telling him he was very special and had an important mission to fulfill where he grew up. Since then, this woman appeared a few more times in Romanek's dreams. But that was all. During his youth, Romanek was somewhat mischievous, often getting into fights at school, which caused his parents a lot of trouble, but fortunately, no major disaster. At that time in school, the education Romanek received was that humans are the only intelligent life forms, and God created and cares only for us. In the world, there are no aliens. However, a series of subsequent experiences completely changed Romanek's worldview. Please subscribe to the Shadowproof channel to watch the latest videos. At that moment, while the object was bouncing up and down, he put away his camera, wanting to drive closer to see what the thing was. But at that moment, the object he saw with his naked eye jumped from 100 feet to 1,000 feet in altitude and then changed direction, starting to move parallel. TA balloon. When showing the video data to Lisa, Romanek also said, it was a transmission of information about the existence of aliens and UFOs. However, that was just the beginning. Early in the morning on September 21, 2001, Romanek was awakened by urgent knocking on the door. At that time, he was at home with his sister. While Romanek was groggily getting up to check downstairs, his sister had already gone to open the door. Romanek vaguely saw 3 large figures, looking like humans but not quite, standing at the door. Oh no, it must be burglars. He quickly ran to his sister's side and saw her standing there motionless, head tilted back, mouth without name, eyes fixed on the ceiling with a dazed look. Romanek called his sister many times, but she seemed not to hear anything. Then Romanek turned his gaze toward the 3 figures at the door. Getting closer, Romanek realized that the one in front was likely a female creature, and the 2 behind looked male. In an instant, fear and chills swept through his entire body. Relax, everything will be fine. Clearly, this voice wasn't from Romanek himself but was implanted. Next, he felt a tap on the back of his head and then lost consciousness. When Romanek woke up, he was in a completely unfamiliar place. Surrounded by a very bright light, his whole body felt suppressed by a tremendous force, unable to move. Romanek also felt that some kind of metallic substance was implanted in his hand. Then, images, lines, formulas, symbols, and thoughts began appearing in his head. These things were beyond his knowledge. He didn't know what they meant. After waking up, Romanek thought he had just had a strange dream, but still felt a slight pain in his hand. Upon closer inspection, he found there was indeed. Romanek believed this was his first abduction by an extraterrestrial civilization. Later, on September 3, 2002, aliens abducted Romanek for the second time. This time, as before, they implanted strange symbols and equations in his head. On November 17, 2002, aliens abducted Romanek for the third time. After waking up, he found himself lying in his backyard doghouse. And then the fourth, fifth, sixth time. Between 2001 and 2008, Romanek was abducted a total of 11 times. These experiences made him feel extremely distressed and also shattered his existing worldview. Romanek began to wonder, could there really be UFOs and extraterrestrial civilizations in this world? Romanek sought out a psychologist, hoping through hypnosis regression to recall more memories and details of his alien encounters. During the hypnosis, various information and images flooded into Romanek's mind like a tidal wave. He once took pen and paper and quickly wrote down the symbols and formulas that appeared in. Romanek gave the formulas to the hypnotist, but clearly, the hypnotist didn't understand the meaning of these formulas either. At that time, most people, including scholars, thought that Romanek might have just made them up randomly. Joint Institute for Nuclear Research in the United States. At this point, people were surprised to discover that part of the formula Romanek wrote seemed to represent exactly element 115. That's also legendary, as it wasn't. For decades, because it was believed to be related to extraterrestrial civilization and alien technology, it has always received special attention. In 1989, Bob Lazar, who once worked at Area 51, came forward to reveal that his work involved conducting research on crashed flying saucers. At that time, he also said he had come into contact with element 115. This element was an extremely important material for the propulsion system. At that time, element 115 had not yet been discovered by anyone, and no one believed what Bob Lazar said. As revelations, due to time constraints, I won. Returning to the formulas and symbols written by Romanek, there are some black dots in the lower left corner. At first glance, they appear to be randomly distributed. But after careful study, it was discovered that these black dots exactly match the positions of the stars in the Orion Belt. Additionally, a physics formula in the lower right corner is almost identical to the Drake equation we mentioned at the beginning of the video. Only at the end is multiplied by 100. Therefore, this subtly indicates that the number of extraterrestrial civilizations is much greater than we imagined. The following year, Romanek still recalled more equations through regression hypnosis. And the vast majority of these equations remain unsolved to this day. The story doesn't end here, Romanek said. Under the control of aliens, he left behind genetically altered children for future generations. During a regression hypnosis session on August 20, 2004, Romanek recalled a very strange scene. He said that every time he was abducted by aliens, there was another woman with him. And that day, Romanek and this woman also appeared in a very strange room. In the room were 7 children, all with different appearances and heights. Some looked like humans, while others resembled aliens. However, they had a common similarity. They all had large, almond-shaped eyes that slanted upward. From a human aesthetic perspective, this was not hard. At this moment, a little girl stepped forward, hugged Romanek's leg, pulled his hand, and with pleading eyes looked up at him and said, "Daddy, Don." Many reports claim that after Romanek was abducted by aliens, he was forced to have children with aliens. But according to interview records with him, this claim is actually inaccurate. Later, Romanek even found that woman who was also abducted in real life. In 2008, Romanek accepted an invitation to speak about UFOs and aliens. While standing on the podium, he suddenly saw a very familiar-looking woman in the audience. Romanik told his wife, Lisa, that this was the woman who was abducted with him. In other words, this woman was the mother of Romanik's 7 alien children. On September 22, 2009, while Romanik was on the phone with a friend, their call was interrupted by an alien girl who said she was Romanik's daughter. And the most unbelievable incident that happened to Romanik has to be the time he fell and got injured. On a Friday evening in November 2002, Romanik was climbing a ladder to clean the outside of their house. When he reached out too far, he suddenly lost his balance and fell. He was about 4 meters above the ground at the time. Below him was a truck full of bricks. First, Romanik hit the truck hard and then fell to the ground. His wife, Lisa, immediately took her husband to the hospital. Diagnosis showed that Romanik's right anterior cruciate ligament was severely torn and required surgery. The doctor treated the wound and scheduled surgery for the following Wednesday, telling Romanik to go home and rest. However, on the evening before the surgery, something unbelievable happened. On Tuesday night, Romanik's wife, Lisa, was awakened by a loud noise. She reached out to turn on the light but found the house had no electricity. Many unbelievable things had happened to Romanik before, and before each incident, there was always a power outage accompanying it. Lisa vaguely thought to herself, could Romanik have been taken away by them again? Groping in the dark, she turned on the main power switch in the house. The room immediately lit up. Sure enough, Romanik was no longer in the room. Lisa went outside, calling Romanik's name throughout the yard. When she returned to the room, she found Romanik sitting on the edge of the bed. The two were awakened in the middle of the night, still somewhat drowsy and not fully awake, so they decided to sleep first. The next morning, which happened to be Wednesday and also the day scheduled for surgery, Lisa discovered strange circular marks on the grass in the backyard. She was so surprised that she immediately took photos as evidence. Romanik heard the noise and limped outside to see what was happening. At that moment, Lisa looked at him with extreme surprise and asked Romanik, "Do you feel something different?" "No, I mean you yourself." Even pressing on the protective brace on his leg didn't cause pain. The two were both surprised. Later, investigators found the leg brace in a corner of Romanik's yard, and it had been scorched. S thigh, but they didn't. Romanik believed that the aliens had used their high technology to heal his leg. That day, Romanik had to call the doctor and say he no longer needed surgery. At first, the doctor thought Romanik was saying this because he was afraid of surgery. He even advised that if he didn't have the surgery, his leg would be useless. He might become disabled for the rest of his life. Even though Romanik explained many times, the doctor insisted that he come to the hospital. But after arriving at the hospital, all the doctors were shocked. No one could explain how Romanik's leg had healed overnight. Of course, Romanik couldn't tell the doctors that aliens had healed his leg. Otherwise, he might have been sent to the psychiatric ward that day. Later, Romanik released a video of an alien that he had recorded. After divorcing Lisa, Romanik moved from Colorado to Nebraska. That evening, he and Lisa were sitting in the living room watching TV. Because he was thirsty, he got up to the dining room to get water to drink. At that moment, Roman X suddenly felt as if someone was peeking at him through the kitchen window. 2. Roman X got up and chased after them into the garden, but found no one. 3. Throughout the following period, both Roman X and Lisa felt as if a pair of eyes was hiding in the darkness. 4. Very soon after, both of them were nearly exhausted. 5. Roman X tried to report to the police, but due to lack of evidence, they couldn't take any other measures. T believe we can. S camera recorded a scene he couldn't. 8. Oh my god, what is this? 9. Oh my god, what is it doing? 10. Oh my god, oh my god. 11. Oh my god, I can't believe it. 12. In other words, he has no reason to lie. 13. And it also said that Roland X's accounts were highly persuasive because he could provide a lot of evidence. 14. Just an ordinary person. 15. Like a normal person. 16. An ordinary person, nothing special. 17. That's not the issue, not the issue with Stan. 18. There's a lot of information out there, almost real. 19. Stan's information is real because it has many details. 20. It has a lot of information. 21. It not only has films, development videos, but also posts information. "22. Can't just write randomly. 23. The person who wrote those formulas must have 24. Just can't piece together the chaotic memories. 25. At the end of the documentary, Hex appeared on 26. On February 13, 2014, Stan Ronan X was charged with illegally storing a large quantity of child. 27. Ronan X believes that all of this was orchestrated by the government. 28. He said the government used computer viruses to put images in his head. 29. That was to frighten him into prison to silence him. 30. After 8 months of investigation, the police discovered hundreds of child pornography images. 31. The children in these images and videos were mostly between the ages of 32. In 2017, Ronan X was sentenced to 2 years and 33. Throughout the trial, Ronan X consistently maintained that he had no idea where those images ultimately hit. 34. Definitely, the government is threatening him to silence. 35. Thank you for watching. 36. If you want, you can subscribe to watch the next. 37. Or if you have time, you can watch more videos from this channel.
If the proof convinced you, subscribe and open the next case.